Right. We have another new issue of Amstrad Action. We're still doing this. Now, issue number 64. January 1991. Starting a new year. And yeah, it's £1.95 because it's got a little cover cassette on it. Because it's a Christmas issue as usual. It's still Britain's best-selling magazine for the CPC 464 6128 plus GX 4000 console. And not an official Amstrad publication, of course. It's too much. AA's bumper festive issue is crammed fit to burst. So they're busting. To bust? Okay. The best game of 1990. Vote for your favourite. Seriously now, 16 pages of news, help, programming and reviews. Crimbo Compo, we're giving away 3 handheld TVs. Switchblade, Gremlin's console stunner reviewed. Magic Land Dizzy, Codemaster's Egghead is back. The AA karting day out, all the gory details. Plus all your favourite regulars packed in. The AA Christmas cover tape, a Puzznik, Ocean's rave-rated puzzler, a fully playable demo. Lost Caves, a full special version of Player's brilliant budget epic. And Space Froggy, complete Sprites Alive game, special offer inside. Disc owners, a new routine to transfer all these programs to disc. That will hopefully work this time. What? No cover cassette? Interrogate your newsagent now. Well, Chase HQ 2 Special Criminal Investigation continuing where Chase HQ left off. The arcade thriller takes you from the bright lights of Paris to the rugged terrain of the Sahara. Your mission is to track down, chase and apprehend the dangerous criminals. She didn't really get released. Think it got done? There's supposedly cartridges out there. Very, very rare. Total Recall. The ego trip of a lifetime. Robocop 2. And Narc. It's not all bad. You've got a chopper to back you up. A mean shiny street machine, some heavy metal hardware, and pretty neat mods. Moves? Moves. And what about the Kingpin? Did I say he was Mr. Big? No, he's Mr. Big. Amstrad, Commodore Spectrum, Atari ST, Commodore Amiga. Masters of the Arcade Challenge present Platinum, an arcade collection of 4 Capcom classics. Here we saw that reviewed last issue. Includes free LED Storm, 8-bit only. Yeah, so you only get LED Storm, the 8-bit versions, for reasons. That is our lineup. January 1991. The best 50 games of 1990, part 2 of the AA end of year retrospective, plus your chance to vote for your favourite. There are 3 handheld TVs to be won. Codemaster's brilliant Christmas giveaway. Alright, Casio. Interviews, we talk to those in the know. Amscene, all the latest Amstrad news, reaction. Our readers have their say on the grapevine. What's new in the gaming scene? Forum, Adam Doc Waring sorts out your technical queries. Ask Alex. Alex Van Dam brings help to beginners in distress. The Balrog, this month gone by in the world of adventure gaming. Type-ins, programs you can key in yourself, and so on and so on. The AA Christmas cover tape, all the goodies in a bulging festive cassette, plus full instructions. Feast your orbs on this, you lucky, lucky people. Carted off. Certainly we should have been. Full report on the AA 5th birthday karting compo winners day out at Castle Combe. And Switchblade, is this the biggest, baddest, best platforming game the world has ever seen? Action tiers, we've got Flimbo's Quest, Switchblade, Grand Prix Circuit, Magic Land Dizzy, The Spy Who Loved Me, bad show, James, and Midnight Resistance, Kill Kill Kill, and Ocean's latest blockbuster, and many, many more. The serious stuff of programming in 3D, and Costmaster, estimating program for small businesses reviewed. Kick-Off 2, blistering pace, pixel perfect passing, superb tactical gameplay. And they've added the AA rave logo onto it. Learn to read with Prisma. Amstrad Action was so impressed with Prisma Software's multimedia approach and Learn to Read with Prof that we wanted to know more. Rod Lawton spoke to senior partner Trude Salisbury about the company, the software, and education in general. Trude Salisbury works part-time as a voluntary teacher. We were impressed by the way you combined books and audio cassettes in a computer game. What's other people's reaction been to this? Because it's something quite new as far as we're concerned for computer software. Well, the education establishments are very pleased with it. We've been selling them for some years now on another format, and the parents are delighted with it. They found the children learn to read very quickly. And then, of course, to prove that they have the books, and then, having proved that to themselves, they can go and read other books. So, did you produce the same sort of thing on the BBC then? Oh yes, we've been selling the BBC version to schools since 1985. So, have you modified the software at all for the home market? Well, we've improved it, shall we say. We've put more graphics in. It's been just as successful without a lot of graphics, but now, since we've gone into the home market, we've put more graphics in and also added 9 more words. So the software is designed now in such a way that it can be used at home as well as at school. That's right. That's what we're doing now. We're selling to the home and schools with the new version. What do you think of the CPC as an educational machine? Obviously, it's not as popular in schools as the BBC. What do you think of its capabilities? It can do what we want it to do, you see. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't really matter, the machine. The game is the same on all machines. So if that is the machine that is in home, it will do the job. We've obviously looked at various other people's software as well, without necessarily being specific. Where do you think other publishers' educational software falls down? Well, it's not for me to say, is it? I would just say that we are more specific, you see. We've found out that our software really does teach reading. So you can take a non-reader, or any age really, we've sold to high schools if there was a need. What we would expect in the home market to mainly sell to families with children of 4 or 5 years of age, we also sell to parents of older children if the children can't read. It is quite unique that our program actually teaches reading. I don't really think there is anything on the market to compete. I think it's unique in that it combines written material with audio cassettes and computer software. It's got to, you see, because you can't teach words without putting them into context. And then when you've learnt the words, well, you want to know what you learnt. Even 4-year-olds want to know, you see. So the books then prove to the child that they also can practice what they've done. And then they have the confidence to read another book. Obviously, you think computers are a valuable learning tool. Do you think they'll be a central part of education from now on? Oh yes. I don't think you can get away from that. It's how you use them, isn't it? Quite often you see they're used in schools with a brighter child, or the child already got some knowledge of reading and other things. And the children who can't read can't use them quite as much. With the increasing use of computers in schools, do you think it's most important that kids got used to using them? Or do you think that they do actually add an extra dimension to teaching? Well, if they're used right, you see, they're just an essential part now, and it will get more and more so, won't it? And they're a part of the home as well. More and more families get computers. And if you can use the computer as a teaching tool to support what the teacher is doing, whether you actually use it in the school and support what the teacher is doing, or whether you use it at home and support what the teacher is doing, it can only be a good thing. Are you planning further releases? You've got part 2 of level 1, haven't you? Yes? And it takes the same words and looks at them in more detail. And then early in the new year, we will have part 3 and 4. Part 3 helps children to make sentences. This is something children don't find very easy. And part 4 then deals with comprehension to ensure that children really understand their reading, but all in a fun way. So they don't know that you're encouraging them to write sentences or teaching them comprehension, and that is level 1. Now, all these 4 parts can be used on their own. You don't have to start with part 1, but each one has a different thing to do. And then we go on to level 2, which is really the same thing, but teaching more words, you see. Sounds like there's quite a lot in the pipeline then. We found that there was a need for other parts. I go into a school on a voluntary basis, you see, and work with children. And through that, I have found the need for the other parts. And since then, we have had letters from parents and teachers to confirm that. Are you likely to branch out in the future, or are you going to see how Learning with Prof series goes? We're already branching out, you know. We can't stand still, can you? There are other things in the pipeline as well, which I'm sure you will get next year. Right, so I have to wait and see then. Yes! Am seen. But will it work? Unexpected compatibility problems emerge with new 6128 Plus machines. Compatibility problems concerning Amstrad's new Plus range seem worse than originally feared. It's emerging that a number of products designed for use with the CPC will not work on the new computers. The new machines are designed to emulate the old CPCs exactly, until a cartridge is plugged in, whereupon the new console hardware is activated. It seems that some exciting software nevertheless does clash with the hardware. Not exactly how it works. At first, I thought that the amount of software that wouldn't work with the machine would be very low. But increasing numbers of programs are proving troublesome when loaded on the new machines. Both games and serious programs have been affected. The incompatibility of these programs is currently being attributed to programmers not following the rules set up by Amstrad, rather than any technical problem with the computers. Among those games affected are 3 Lariciel's products, Hurricane, Bumpy, and Mobile Man. These fail to run on Amstrad Action's new 6128 Plus, but work perfectly on the Office CPCs. We canvassed the opinion of leading software house US Gold and were told that efforts were being made to ensure that all new games work on all machines. It's unlikely that previously released games have been found to be at fault with the software will be altered to work with the new computers, though recent games still doing well may be converted. This action will almost certainly be taken by all major software producers, meaning that once the new machines are established, all new releases should work without problems. It does mean, however, that older games that don't work on the Plus will not be upgraded. A similar problem occurred with Atari's 16-bit ST machine when the company upgraded to the STE. However, the Amstrad compatibility problem would appear to be far less serious. Multi-face frozen. The Multi-Face 2 game freezing device has also been found to be incompatible with the 464 and 6128 Plus machines. The unit appears to operate normally until the save function is accessed, upon which the computer locks up, requiring the machine to be reset. It appears that Amstrad had tested the Multi-Face for compatibility with the Plus and It appears that Amstrad had tested the multi-face for compatibility with the Plus on manufacturer Romantic Robot's behalf and gave the company the green light. Romantic Robot then started to produce the unit with the new D-type connector that the Plus uses. The problems only became apparent when customers complained that the device did not work properly. Romantic Robot is currently redesigning the product to work with the Plus. According to the company, the problem is a fairly minor one. It's caused by incompatible software which needs to be rewritten rather than a hardware clash. The modification should be complete by the time you read this. Anybody having trouble with a multi-face that they've already bought should get in contact with Romantic Robot, who have promised to exchange all faulty units with correctly functioning ones. BMW joysticks. Joystick maker Spectra Video is no longer going to be selling Connex joysticks. Another supplier for the highly rated Speed King and Navigator models is yet to be found. In the meantime, Spectra Video is to launch a new range of its own, collectively titled the Logic 3 range. Logic 3 products will be designed with 3 main criteria: style, engineering quality, and reliability. Our product will be the BMW of the joystick market, so says Spectre Video boss Ashvin Patel. He may or may not own one of these Bavarian beasts himself. No one wants a joystick like a Ford Escort. Details are all very hush-hush at the moment, and no pickies or prices are available yet. Watch this space. Keep it under control. Fed up fumbling with joysticks? Can't take control with the keyboard? A new widget to allow custom control for your games playing has just become available. The Game Pro Mark II plugs into the joystick socket of your computer. It has a couple of built-in buttons duplicating the up and down movements of a joystick, and a load of input sockets to plug further controllers in. These use standard jack plugs, so the home experimenter can construct all manner of weird and wonderful game-playing devices. In addition, there are 2 joystick ports built in, acting as a joystick splitter for the CPC. Now you'll be able to play 2-player games the way they should be played, with 2 joysticks. The unit also comes, there's more, with 2 foot pedals. Prices range from $19.99 to $34.99. CPRS Design Technology is responsible for the product. $6.128 Plus will load from tape. Up until now, one of the fiercest criticisms of the Amstrad's new 6128 Plus is that it will not load from tape. Its predecessor, the CPC 6128, loaded tape software easily via its built-in tape socket, but the Plus model has been restricted to disk-only operation. Until now. Wave up in Cumbria is offering a special service to 6128 Plus owners whereby their machines can be converted to load from tape. The machines will still not be able to save to tape, but few people would want to do that anyway. The principal need for the tape loading feature is for budget software, after all. The cost of the conversion work is £20 with an extra charge for carriage. Alternatively, if you buy your machine from Wave in the first place, the company will convert it for you free, as well as offering a £25 discount off the RRP. In B, if you have your machine converted by Wave or anyone else, the manufacturer's warranty will be invalidated. You have been warned. The drive saga continues. Microstyle has embarked on the DD1 drive price-cutting war again for a remarkable offer on those Amstrad drives. For as little as $69.99 plus £3 carriage, you can equip yourself with an external 3-inch drive for your 464, complete with necessary interface. Microstyle is stressing that the offer can last only until stocks are exhausted, so if you want to take advantage of this monster offer, get in there quick. Regular readers will know that following Amstrad's decision to cease manufacturing these drives, there has been a price-cutting bonanza on these items. Stocks have gradually fallen, however, and the overall price trend has been upwards until now. Pick up a Penguin. Last month's free-for-all section carried an incorrect phone number. Penguin software correct number is 0483763223, and not as printed. By the way, if you tried getting hold of boss Dave Carter via the directory, it doesn't work. You've been making a totally unrelated Mrs. Carter very annoyed. Sorry folks, and especially Mrs. Carter. But no, seriously. How about this for an excellent idea? A bundle for the new 6128 Plus, which included serious software or word processing software on a cartridge. We reckon that the cartridge format would be a very suitable medium for all sorts of serious utilities. Integrated packages that allow you to switch between applications instantly, for example, or word processors with huge built-in dictionaries. This would be thought solve 2 problems. Amstrad could affirm the Plus range as being general purpose rather than just games machines, and if the software was to be given away with every machine, a serious producer would jump at the chance. We put the idea to Amstrad. Unfortunately, Amstrad said that it had no plans for any such programs, though it would welcome the idea if a serious software manufacturer were to approach them. The company also dismissed outright the idea of a serious bundle, saying that the new models are being pushed purely as games playing machines. It would just confuse the market, Amstrad observed, when asked why a serious bundle wasn't on the cards. Amstrad already produces bundles with its PC machines, and clearly wishes to separate the functions of the 2 ranges. ANA, the makers of word processor Protex told us that it wasn't considering cartridge releases, but wouldn't rule them out as a future possibility. We want to know what you think. Should the new machines be restricted to games only, or should there be serious applications for a machine that is perfectly capable of making use of them? If there is enough interest, we'll take it up with the companies involved. We'll see the brilliant Protex and cartridge. At the moment, it seems not. Now we've got the charts. Well, Shadow Warriors is still there at number 1. You lot out there obviously like it, even though we only thought it worth a measly 68% back in issue 68. 68, we only had issue 64. What are you on about? It's for Batman the movie and Robocop. Can you believe they're still going? It's nice to see some of the smaller software houses like Chrysalis, Challenge, and Addictive getting in the charts too. Full price games, software priced over £4.99. Number 1, we have Shadow Warriors by Ocean, and Turrican by Rainbow Arts, World Cup Soccer 90 by Virgin, Chase HQ by Ocean, Robocop by Ocean, Batman the Movie by Ocean, Manchester United by Chrysalis, Footman World Cup by Addictive. I like their footy games. Heroes of the Lance by US Gold, Back to the Future 2 by Mirrorsoft, Italy 1990 Winners Edition by US Gold, Gaz's Super Soccer by Empire, Bomber by Activision. It's a fighter bomber, if I remember correctly. World Cup 90 Comp by Empire, Cricket Master by Challenge, Heroes by Domark, Lords of Chaos by Blade, International 3D Tennis by Palace, Turbo Outrun by US Gold, and Dragons of Flame by US Gold. But that's going all the way down a lot quicker than Heroes of the Lancers. Budget games. Software priced under £4.99. With Quattro Adventure by Codemasters. A Question of Sport by Encore. Pro Boxing by Codemasters. Restan by Hit Squad. Paperboy by Encore. Big Trouble in Little China by Alternative. Temple of Doom by Kix. Dave Thompson's Challenge by Hit Squad. Hong Kong Fooey by Hightech. And Salamander by Hit Squad. Yeah. Hightech starting them Hanna-Barbera games now. Probably going to see a few of those, maybe. Wacky, the magazine. Reaction, controversy, contradiction, and clumny. What the fuck is clumny? Our readers grind their X's. Free for all frolics. I'm a 24-year-old electronic engineer and have had my trusty 464 for 6 years. I think your mag is excellent and you seem to have the right balance between serious and fun software. I particularly enjoy Free for All. I'd be very grateful if you could tell me where to go for the PCB draft program reviewed in issue 62. I don't have a modem, so I hope it's not from a bulletin board. I only have one piece of criticism, and that you should update the Where to Go box in Free for All. For a number of months now, the DW software entry mentions the marvelous WIMP environment desktop reviewed last month. There must be very few very confused readers out there. No, not the only ones. One more thing. What is a clam? Is this a new form of European currency? Keep up the good work. Andy Manns, Newbury. P.S. If by amazing coincidence you print this letter, please spell my surname properly. Oh, all right. It's Andy Properly of Newbury. PCB draft, eh? Carolyn wasn't in when we phoned, so we're not sure if it's PD. If it is, it should be knocking around a few of the libraries. Try Wacky. The address is in the Where to Go box. Well done for spotting the deliberate mistake we made by leaving out the out-of-date item in Free for All. Award yourself 10 points. A clam is a saltwater crustaceous gastropod bivalve, frequently encountered in estuarine and marine environments, as well as certain fishmongers. We also use them as a form of easy-to-handle currency. 1 clam equals £1, or a squid. Oh no, down with tapes. I must be one of the few people around who supports the lack of cassette port on this new 6128 Plus computer. Let me explain. Once upon a time, the IBM PC, what's that, had a cassette port. Now it does not. Every user of the PC uses disks, and quite happily I might add. The way to get the whole CPC user base onto a more practical storage medium of disks is to force the change, and I support Amstrad if this is their intention. Can anybody really prefer cassettes? They may be slightly cheaper to buy, but this is probably due to larger production runs for cassettes than for disks. If a larger customer base is forced to use disk, then the price difference will close, meaning that the advantages of disk will cost little to no more than cassette. How many 464 owners buy their machine on the basis of immediately adding a disk drive and using disk as their primary storage medium? They may still buy software on cassette, but if they then copy their cassette to disk, possibly with the multiface, and use the cassette no more, then they do not support cassettes. The fact that they buy a 464 and tape software does not infer otherwise. My view is that if you want the advantages of disk, then go the whole hog. I support disk options for all CPC software, including AA cover cassettes and the freebie cassette games given with AA subscriptions. What's AA going to do about these? They are useless to 6128 Plus owners. John Fairley, Bristol. If Amstrad was to phase out cassettes, it would begin by creating a computer that can support them. The 618 Plus will certainly have that effect, and as long as it doesn't happen too quickly, leaving people high and dry isn't the gradual reduction of the amount of cassette-based systems a good thing? Discs are, after all, much more convenient, more reliable, faster, and in all respects, apart from price, better. It must be about time that a distinct move was made in favour of a disc-only market. Or is it? What do you think? Disc, tape, both? Write your reaction and get your views known. Christmas stocking list cartridges. There should be many excellent games for the GX4000 by Christmas. Tracy's in the wagon. We're at her apartment. Two-way wrist radio. Just in case you didn't know. Christmas stocking link cartridge. I am thinking of buying a GX4000 console. Would you please let me know what games will be available for it by Christmas? Ben Spires, Stroud. How about Gaza, Dick Tracy, Spider-Man from Entertainment International. Then there's Navy SEALs and Robocop 2 from Ocean. Epix Games, Tennis Cup from Lauriciel. Tintin on the Moon from Infogrames. Clax from Domark, and many more. All these should, with any luck, be in the shops before Santa performs his annual soot-covered descents. Yeah, except no Gaza on the cartridge. No Spider-Man either. That didn't appear at all. Favourite cover versions. To start off, I would like to say how brilliant your mag is and how I think it can never get better, but it always does. Okay, I've finished my grovelling, now to get on with my letter. I typed out Hacker in issue 43. It seemed to work well, but what do I actually do when I get given poke 023E, 0? I've discarded the last two numbers as it told me to. I read a letter in the past issue asking why it would cost £2.95 if you had a cover cassette. Now, how come then on your birthday issue you had a cover cassette, and a very good one too, but the issue cost only $1.95? I think the cover of issue 62 is the best one yet. I don't know why, it just is. Please answer this letter. I also want to know what AA's favourite game is, and I guess I would say Rick Dangerous. And is Robocop the Amstrad game that stayed in the charts the longest? You'd better answer this letter or I'll set him on you. Robocop's directive number 7 is as follows. No member of Amstrad Action or future publishing may be harmed. It's a little known and totally made up fact that Adam Doc Waring actually programmed the Robocop software, and his silicon heart is now that of a defunct CPC 664. As for cover cassettes, it will cost much more for a cassette every month, but when we mount them, twice a year, we actually pay much of the increased cost ourselves. Such is our generosity. Which cover is the best? We often argue about this, and several scuffles have ensued. Oh boy. Sexism, the debate continues. I'm afraid it is time once again for me to impose my views on you. After reading a letter from a certain Catherine Dawson, I nearly hit the roof. For a start, she was accusing your mag of being sexist when you have never portrayed such opinions. She then goes on to say, you can't say women are hopeless at computer-related subjects. Who said they were? Is this woman paranoid or what? So you learned basic at 8, etc. Good for you. Just don't hit me with your feminist crap, okay? It's a computer mag, not women's lib. All that aside, I thought she had some kind of sense saying that it shouldn't be sexism, but she went on to show that she was actually no better or less prejudiced than sexist men by saying that women are the superior sex at anything they tried. Not so bloody unbiased now, are you? Giving you opinions, am I right in thinking that the school you pass your mag around at is a primary school or kindergarten, maybe? Right, now, where was I? Oh, yes. Someone wrote in saying that the Home Computer Club was a rip-off. Well, okay, in this example, it was you who was at fault, but they do rip you off. For example, if a compilation is brought out, let's take the Chico collection. Well, it comes out at £10 to £20, but they say that the games come as 4 individual ones and charge you with a reasonable price of £40 minus the 25%. Total rip-off or what? I'm glad to see you've ditched the buyer's guide. Total waste of space. It's the same every month. I do hope you don't mind me asking, but did the publishers make you do the cover tape on AA61? Just that your Sinclair have the same tape, more or less, on their cover. They also did the free cheat mode booklet. It's just that since Future Publishing bought your Sinclair, everything you do, your Sinclair also does. So do you come up with the ideas, or does Future Publishing? May I say that I was less than happy about paying an extra 50p for a tape with a demo and a game on it. In fact, I'm sending some progs into type-ins and to show you what I think of the tape. I'm sending the progs on it. I have said that before, I'll say it again, but don't put the cover tapes on every month, because if you do, you will rely on the tape selling the mag, not the contents. So you will start getting slack with the mag. I want a magazine, not a game demo. Adrian Forbes, Gilrock. Come on, Catherine Dawson. Isn't it about time you wrote in again? We'd love to have another letter from you, and you must want a reply. And about the Home Computer Club, they don't price the games in the collection separately. They take the recommended retail price of the collection in the shops and lower that by the stated amount. It's possible they were merely stating the price that the games would have cost if they were sold separately. Cover tapes. You might not want the programs on them, but many readers enjoy their occasional appearance, and so we fondly believe. Has AA forsaken us? I saw the new logo. Why change? It looks terribly dated and crass, as if it had come off the cover of Games Only Spicky Mag. Why are games getting more and more coverage? Next quibble, Britain's best CPC 464 618 Place GX 4000 console. Surely this leaves out the original users? How about 464 664 618 464 plus 618 plus GX 4000 console? Why has Serious Software got so small? I think that's about all I've got to moan about. I hope my opinions are listened to. Wouldn't it be a shame to lose a reader who has all 62 issues? Mark Baxter, Stockport. The logo was really up for a redesign. We like it a lot, but everybody has their own opinion, and we only find out what you think if you tell us. As for the original users, we've stated repeatedly that we will continue to cater for all existing users. We do mirror the changes to the CPC owning public. For example, game sales are increasing rapidly, consoles are selling, and cartridges are being produced at a prolific rate. Okay. It would spoil the balanced look of the cover if we had a massive box paying homage to every Amstrad CPC machine available. You just have to open and read AA to realise the extent of the cover tape. Wanted. Editors, sub-editors, staff writers. Future Publishing launched in 1985. Now over 125 staff, 10 national newsstand magazines, market leader in computer titles, exciting launch plans, Britain's fastest growing publisher. Britain's fastest growing publishing company, Future Publishing, is looking for exceptionally talented and ambitious magazine staff to work on existing titles and planned launches. Future, based on beautiful Bath, already publishes Amiga format, ST format, New Computer Express, Commodore format, Your Sinclair, Amstrad Action, and Sega Power, as well as PC Plus, 8000 Plus, and Mac Publishing. In return for your blood, sweat, etc., the company offers a good salary, an excellent working environment, and the opportunity to take on new and exciting challenges as Future continues to expand. If you have Good reason to think future needs you. Send your CV together with examples of published work, or 500 words on what magazines are for, to Greg Ingham at the address below. Editors, send copies of recent issues. Do it today if you know it's good for you. A 16-bit classic now on Amstrad and Spectrum. Shadow of the Beast. Screenshots from Amstrad format, screenshots from Spectrum format. They don't look all that different. On the Grapevine. News, views, previews, scandal, gossip. The place where we bring you up to date on who's who and what's what in the big wide world of computer entertainment. It's a stunner. One of the most exciting games in arcades at the moment is Stun Runner. What do you mean you've never heard of it? You pilot a motorcycle-like machine extremely quickly through lots of tunnels and try to beat all the other vehicles. It has the most amazingly slick 3D graphics and apparently uses lots of polygons. So what you cry, there's no way that any home micro version can hope to keep up with the arcade machine. Well, don't make us realise this, and instead of all this polywotsits and stuff, the programs have turned it into a sprite game in an effort to get things moving along nice and quickly. Look out for the review soon, folks. Stun Runner out soon on the Amstrad, but no proper 3D. Gazza calls it off. Adam was getting ever so excited. He was so looking forward to meeting the great man for real. His dreams, though, were shattered when Gazza got punched in the hooter by Steve McMahon and ran off to Newcastle to be with his mam. What? It was to have been a big press do at White Hart Lane, home of Tottenham Hotspur, Gazza's team, to promote Gazza's new footy game called Gazza. Unfortunately, the footy star suffered a broken nose and couldn't make it. It was especially disappointing because we intended to get Mr. Gazza to autograph an exclusive box of Kleenex. Never mind, we'll just have to go without. Boo-hoo. Good God. You know it's going to be one of those days when you wake up with a severed horse's head in the pillow next to you. The Godfather appeared in 1972 and told the story of a bunch of Italians killing each other. The sequel followed 2 years later in 1974, but it took another 17 years for them to get around to making the third one. Godfather 3 hits the silver screens in March next year. Thanks to US Gold, it will be appearing on your monitor screens at around the same time. The Birmingham company will really be making most of this license, producing both an adventure game and an arcade-style game to appeal to all kinds of gamer. Should buy a used Ferrari from these men. Discs on budget. People with disc drives must be fed of budget games always coming on tape. Electronic Arts, which hasn't been terribly active in the Amstrad scene of late, boo, is relaunching its range on budget on both cassette and disc. Initially, 2 games will be released on EA's Star Performer label. There's Chuck Yeager's Advanced Flight Simulator, Master Game in AA42, and Skate or Die, the less said the better, really. The tape-based games will sell for the usual $2.99, and if you want the disc versions, then you'll be expected to shell out $6.99. Now, if you can fly like Chuck Yeager for £6.99. Cody's compilations. Fans of the Dizzy games will no doubt be excited about the prospect of another Dizzy game. The long-awaited Dizzy 4 Magic Land Dizzy will be in the shop soon. However, the hard-boiled hero will be released on a compilation containing all 5 Dizzy games to date, including the spin-off Fast Food. The Dizzy collection will sell for $9.95 on tape. A disc version won't be available. Now, this may be attractive for those new to the Dizzy games, with the games working out at less than £2 each. However, Dizzy fans who own the other games already may not be quite so ecstatic about buying the compilation. Alas, Dizzy 4 won't be released on its own as a budget title until after Christmas. Codemasters has another full-price package due out soon called Mega Hot. It comprises the 8 best-selling Cody's Budgies, excluding, of course, the Dizzy games. The lineup includes MiG-29 BMX Simulator, Grand Prix Simulator, ATV Simulator, International Rugby Simulator, Fruit Machine Simulator, Advanced Pinball Simulator, and Pro Tennis Simulator. That's enough simulators. Flick off. Before the advent of the home computer and all those soccer sims with it, people used to spend their time flicking bits of plastic around a lumpy pitch on the living room carpet. In fact, Subbuteo is still an incredibly popular pastime. Over 5 million people play around the world, and you'll soon be able to join them. without moving away from the keyboard or your favourite computer. Electronic Zoo has been granted the license for the computer version of Subbuteo. Now, that may seem a strange idea for a footy game, but not according to Electronic Zoo. The company points out that there have been hundreds of attempts at simulating soccer on computers, with varying degrees of success. Rather than trying to simulate an 11-member team sport, pretty difficult to do successfully, it is interpreting the game that's designed for just 1 or 2 players. Subbuteo shocks 10 things you didn't know about Subbuteo, and probably didn't want to either. Number 1. The longest game of Subbuteo lasted over 4 days. Number 2. A Subbuteo League has been formed by Carmelite nuns in Italy. 3. The name Subbuteo is from the Latin name for hobby hawk, Falco Subbuteo. Number 4. The game was invented by Mr. Peter Adolf in 1947. Number 5. The original Subbuteo players were made of cardboard. Their bases were coat buttons. Number 6. Early Subbuteo sets did not include a playing cloth. Instead, instructions were given for drawing one out on an old army blanket. Number 7. The most popular Subbuteo team is Liverpool. Number 8. Footballing brothers Bobby and Jack Charlton are respectively presidents of the UK and Irish Subbuteo associations. 9. More than 100 million Subbuteo figures have been manufactured. Number 10. Over 700 different strips have been available since the game's invention. They're around 500 now. Oh boy, we've got a combo. Win-win-win! Electronic Zoo is celebrating the launch of Subbuteo by throwing 10 copies of the real Subbuteo table football game in your direction. All you need to do to enter is answer these 3 sporting questions. You'll need to be on your toes though, because they're a bit tricky. Number 1. What popular sport does table football emulate? A. Football. B. Tennis. C. Caber tossing. 2. What well-known sport is featured in the TV program The Match? A. Synchronized swimming. B. Football. C. Golf. Number 3. What sport did the famous footballer Nobby Stiles play? A. Rugby league. B. Curling. C. Football. Entries on a postcard to Flick Off Comp, Amstrad Action. Make sure that they arrive by 31st of January 1991. The usual rules apply. Multiple entries will be burned and so on. Gremlins 2. Those lovable little creatures are back again, you know. The cute cuddly ones that turn into ferocious fiends should you accidentally feed them at the wrong time. The whole of the AA team sadly missed out on the film. I didn't, but I wish I had. So we cannot divulge any of the plot. We all can make a guess though. The gremlins are probably causing all sorts of mayhem, and the hero, we anticipate, ends up killing them all. We sent these screenshots by Elite, the company producing the game of the film. It looks good, and we'll tell you what we thought of the game itself in the new year. Navy SEALs. Coming soon on the console will be Navy SEALs from Ocean. As far as we know, the game has nothing to do with blue-coloured marine mammals. Instead, it's based on the film that nobody seems to have heard of. Apparently, the Navy SEALs are a bit like the SAS, only they're American and are part of the Navy rather than the Army. The plot of the film is that some countrymen have been taken hostage, and it's the SEALs' job to get them out. Where there are hostages, there are terrorists too, so lots of those have to be killed. In the game, there's plenty of slaughter, to be sure, and as your character makes his way across the platform-based levels. An added twist in that crates of Stinger missiles need to be blown up, and bombs planted en route. Ocean seems to be making the most of the console's advanced features. From what we saw of the development version, the sprites are big and detailed, the scrolling is smooth and fast, and there's plenty happening on screen at once. We expect to see the SEALs surface after Christmas. Super Ski, Fighter Bomber, Kickoff, Stunt Car Racer. Set of simulations, all versions achieve excellence in the superb set that combines the greatest simulation hits. Challenges, definitely reserved for the best. Ubisoft. Amiga, IBM PC and compatibles, Commodore 64, Atari ST as well, Spectrum and Amstrad CPC. Note, Kickoff is not available in PC version. Note 2, in the Spectrum version, Stunt Car Racer and Super Ski are replaced by Carrier Command and P47 and Rick Dangerous. Oh. 50 Best Games of the Year, Part 2. Yes, it's Part 2 of Amstrad Action's huge end-of-year retrospective. What are the 50 best games of 1990? Rod Lawton concludes the roundup this month, July to December. We've got Burnin' Rubber, Ocean, 92%, issue 60. Impossible Gremlin, issue 58, 66%. Clax by Domark, issue 58, 89%. Bloodwitch by Imageworks, issue 58, 92%. AMC by Dynamic, AA58, 83%. Fighter Bomber by Activision, issue 59, 89%. Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters by Domark, issue 59, 78%. Stunt Car Racer by Microstyle, issue 59, 96%. Lords of Chaos by Bladesoft, AA59, 84%. Deliverance by Hewson, issue 59, 89%. International 3D Tennis by Palace, issue 59, 81%. Monty Python's Flying Circus by Virgin, issue 60-something. By Virgin, 84%. Night Hunter by Ubisoft, issue 61, 73%. Iron Lord by Ubisoft, AA61, 92%. And Night Hunter Dracula was the good guy. Satan by Dynamic, issue 61, 83%. Skate Wars by Ubisoft, issue 61, 80%. Rick Dangerous 2 by Microstyle, AA62, 97%. The graphics are a bit blocky and the game style itself is distinctly old. Okay. Fire and Forget 2 by Titus, AA61, 84%. There are a lot of French games in issue 61, wasn't there? SimCity by Infogrames, issue 63, 82%. Puzznik by Ocean, AA62, 84%. Italy 1990, issue 58, by US Gold, issue 58, 88%. Time Machine by Activision, AA62, 76%. Game with no sound whatsoever. Kickoff 2, AA63, by Anko, 86%. And Shadow of the Beast, issue 63, by Gremlin, 84%. The best games of 1990, readers' voting form. Please choose one game only, because if you start picking your top fives, we're not going to know you from your elbows. Okay? Oh, you can choose other. Visit something. Forum Professor Waring wades through another sackful of techie troubles. Troubled by technology, baffled by the basics, have you got a problem or question that you can't find the answer to elsewhere? Perhaps you have a tip that other readers will find immensely useful. Forum is the place where these problems get solved. Those questions get answered. Those tips are passed on. What's the best printer on a shoestring? It's still £200. Idle thoughts. An idle thought. Why didn't the Amstrad research and development people include a word processing chip in the new 6128s? Or at least spaced ads say ProText or ProSpell inside the machine, so it doesn't end up looking like a Christmas tree. David Odell, Worthing, West Sussex. The cartridges that the new machines use normal ROMs inside. There is no reason why a word processor cannot be blown onto the ROM and supplied on cartridge form. However, it may be that serious manufacturers feel that a large number of units that have to be manufactured makes the proposal unfeasible. 8-inch disc. Please, can you help? I wish to know where I can get hold of an 8-inch disc drive interface for connecting to the 6128 and OS of suitable quality, and also how much this lot will cost. And now a note for any budding ornithologists out there. I've written a basic program which translates English names of British into their Latin equivalents. It contains over 500 different species and is fairly fast considering that it's only in BASIC. It is disk only, so if you want a copy, just send a blank disk and SAE to me and you will receive a copy pronto. Just one more point. Why is it so difficult to get a letter printed? I've lost count of the amount of times I've written, and this is probably my last desperate attempt before I finally give up. Great mag though. Lorne Murphy. Saltdean, Brighton. What on earth do you want an 8-inch disc drive for, apart from impressing the girlies? No, I won't ask. If anybody has actually done such a thing, then get in touch, please. Similarly, if you're into birds, send a disc and stamped addressed envelope to Lorne. What do you mean you never get your letters printed? You just did, didn't you? What's the difference? I'd like to know what the difference is between the cartridge bit and the plus machine and this GX4000 console. Chris Withersby, South Harrow, Middlesex. There's no difference at all. The cartridge games will run happily on all machines. Ask Alex. Hello again, fellow Amstrad users. I'm back to see you straight on those niggly little problems that have you lost and bewildered. This month I'll be talking about pokes. What are they? What do they do? And how do you use them? I'll also be talking about how to type listings in. This is how you type. This is normal. Is your Amstrad IBM compatible? No. Soccer Seer, the friendly pools predictor. Cheat mode book. They're still trying to fob this off. I mean, it's probably a year out of date now. The amazing Amstrad Action Castle Combo Karting Day. What do you get when you combine 6 Amstrad Action 5th birthday compo winners, the staff of Amstrad Action, 6 race-tuned turbocharged rubber-burning 900 brake horsepower monster go-karts, a bit of journalistic license here, and a large cake? Absolute blinking mayhem, that's what. Typically, it was the coldest day of the year so far. The wind whistled from Siberia across the Cotswold Hills straight into the bones of the assembled competition winners and Amstrad Action bods gathered at the Castle Combo go-karting circuit. Everybody was kitted out in Mansell-style overalls, and as we made our way over to the track, an awed silence fell over all the participants. There they were, fine-tuned, thoroughbred racing machines gleaming with speed, grace, and power, glittering metal symbols of a man's determination to push himself to his very limits. One by one, the beasts were fired into life, and there they sat, throbbing purposefully, perhaps even angrily, except one which seemed to have a dicky spark plug. We could hardly wait. Then we watched amazed as water was sprayed onto a section of the circuit just before the most wicked corner. Water? What are they trying to do? Trying to do to us. And Marshall explained the water just makes things a little more interesting. You'll need skill and ability to negotiate that part. In one fell swoop, that wiped out the Amstrad Action crew. On to the first practice laps. These would have been a few sensible acclimatizing circuits, which would give everyone a feel for the vehicles. Would have been, but unfortunately James Senna Leach was one of the people to go around first. Regular readers will know that James and karting are old acquaintances, and as all the other drivers gently motored around, James belted along like a madman, forcing everyone else out of the way. His thin, reedy voice could be heard bellowing triumphantly above the combined engine noise and tyre squeals as he threw his cart around for all his finesse, skill, and daring of a drunken Liverpudlian navvy wrestling with a runaway earth mover. Rod and Adam also got their turn at a warm-up session. Rod, driven a Lotus Lawton, kept strictly to the specifically devised racing line we had worked out in the car along the way to the circuit that morning. Adam, however, travelled around in a manner that could only belong to someone who has very little, very, very little, very little tying him to this mortal earth. Representing the arty side of the magazine were Paul, I'm new here, you know, Tudor, and Jackie, so am I, Spanton. Jackie wasn't, and must be said, as reckless as many of the other budding champions there. She waited for everyone else to pile off on the corners and then scooted past. It was to prove a remarkably successful strategy. Paul, I'm new here, you know, Tudor, was totally bowled over by the event and spent all the time he wasn't racing standing at the side of the track, shouting and waving his arms above his head in time-honoured Grand Prix style. Or so he assured us, although no one else had ever seen this occur at a Grand Prix or anywhere else. And finally, the AA photographer Stuart Baines. We persuaded him into cart with the help of a pair of tyre levers and a tub of axle grease. He's about 7 feet tall and parks trucks with his bare hands. Stuart was quite simply as mad as an egg cup. He seemed determined to ram everyone else on the track, as well as demolishing all the roadside crash barriers and any spectators foolish enough to stand within 30 yards of the track. The AA team hurled themselves into warming up laps with such vigour that they were totally exhausted by the time the real racing started. In contrast, the compo winners carefully bided their time. Would you tangle with this man? The cutting of the cake. Once the racing was over, anybody who could still walk was summoned to the ceremonial cake cutting. A reverent hush descended. Adam was issued with a tiny fruit knife, which Rod had concealed about his person on the way to the circuit. The cake was pierced. Adam sawed away at it for several minutes. The icing was about a foot thick. Yum! But eventually he managed to tear off enough to give everyone a piece. Standing in the freezing field covered with oil and bruises, eating a strange console-shaped birthday cake, we all declared the day an unqualified success. Here's the winners. Now a total mouse graphics package for your Amstrad at a truly unbeatable price. Amstrad Action Christmas cover tape. It's Prissy time again. Santa and all his little elves have been hard at work in his grotto getting together a present for all you loyal AA readers. After all, you've been very good this year, haven't you? You haven't missed a single copy of AA. So what's Santa got in the sack? Sit down, that's right next to the Christmas tree, while the fat bearded one hands the brightly covered presents out. No, not you, Rod. We mean Santa. Wait, I heard that. The A side, Puzznick. The first of the Christmas goodies on the tape is a playable level from Puzznick. It comes from Ocean, the Mancunian software manufacturer that has been keeping gamesters happy for years. Puzznick is a superb brain-teasing puzzle game and scored a very respectable 82%, that's a rave, in AA62. Each screen consists of some walls, a cursor, that's you, and lots of blocks with symbols on them. The idea is to match up blocks of the same type. You can drag them left and right with the cursor, but not up or down. The game screens in this demo. The game is gravity, and the blocks fall when unsupported. When you match up blocks, they disappear. The more you match up at the same time, the more you score. You have to get rid of all the blocks on the screen to progress to the next one, so be careful you don't end up with an odd one left over. If you do get stuck, simply press the retry button. You're allowed a maximum of 3 retries before it's game over. There are 4 screens in the demo. Each level contains 4 screens, and in the proper game there are 144 screens that tease and torment you. So this is just a taster of what's to come. Lost Caves in the Tomb of Doom. A complete game courtesy of brilliant budget brokers players. Lost Caves is an arcade cum puzzle game. You step into the shoes of an Indiana Jones type character. Your mission is to collect diamonds from the mud-filled, rock-strewn caves. 10 need to be collected before you can make your escape through the big wooden door. There's at least one of these in each level. There are plenty of dangers. The mud needs to be dug away as you make your way through the caverns. Plenty of boulders are supported by the mud though, and if you burrow directly underneath them, then they'll come tumbling down. If they land on your head, you'll lose one of your 3 lives. The caves are guarded too. You have to use cunning to kill the guards. As contact loses your life, push rocks on top of them to squash them. Quick, left, otherwise you'll mincemeat. A special version of Lost Caves has a built-in cheat that allows you to select any level you like at the beginning of the game. Just up or down to choose a level and press fire to start it. The B-side, Space Froggy. Space Froggy is a strange game. You're a frog for a start. For some reason that no one can quite remember, you have to collect 9 ROM chips. Oh, and there are space monsters that try and stop you. As if that wasn't enough, there are some tricky leaps to negotiate. You can move left and right and can jump. It's a platform game and features moving floors. You'll have to find keys to get through some doors as well. The game is an example of what you can do with Glencoe's Sprites Alive package. The game was written entirely with this software, but as you will see, it looks pretty darn good. Froggy is joystick only. Use left and right to move, fire and to jump. Lost and Found. Lost Caves was written by none other than AA's reviews editor, Adam Rearing. It was a couple of years ago before he wandered into future publishing by mistake and got stuck here ever since. Lost Caves was written in a small office in Hull, a city otherwise known as the Jewel of the North by people from Scunthorpe anyway. The office was in an old warehouse overlooking a converted dock in the centre of the town. Unfortunately, the council found out and Adam and his colleagues had to flee. The programming outfit was known as Tag Computer Games, mainly because they couldn't think of anything better. Other games from the Tag stable include Ninja Massacre, Deathstalker, Moving Target, and Arcade Trivia Simulator. The question everybody wants to know is, will Adam be producing any more games for the CPC? Not bleeding likely, for the time being anyway, thank heaven, small mercies. Adam's just far too busy putting together your favourite magazine. Programming in 3 dimensions. Conrad Besant continues his series on 3D programming. Last month, 2-dimensional basics. This month, first steps in 3D. Don't mention the printing. Well, okay, last month the Gremlins struck again. Nothing too serious, only half the sentence at the end of the first page. Here's how the paragraph would have read if it had been so rudely interrupted. But what is the point in doing all this when similar... Okay, well, whatever. Let's get moving. It's already been an hour. Look, math. More math. Counting the cost. If you run your own small business, you already know all the paperwork. There's a tax man, VAT, national insurance. You spend half your time bookkeeping, and before you even start any job, there's the estimate to prepare. ABC may well have a solution in Costmaster. We have Costmaster, $27.99 disc, ABC software. Good news, a powerful tool, professional and accurate. Bad news, occasionally fiddly, requiring concentration, possibly too detailed for many users. The Sound Blaster, play all your games for arcade, quality stereo sound effects. Only £53. We've got cartridge games here. Oh, they got a number of them. Shadow Warriors never came out on cartridge though, I don't think. Pretty sure it didn't. But the others all did. Action test. We're finding out the reviews. Finally. Gremlins at it again, this time with its first console game. Switchblade. Gremlins' first console game takes a bit of getting used to. The graphics initially look distinctly second-rate. The gameplay seems simple, and there doesn't seem to be much going on. Don't be fooled. Play on and you'll find yourself becoming immersed in a huge, compelling, and highly challenging epic. Yeah, now it's on the new system because they've got the green in the background. Does Flimbo's quest out cute Rainbow Islands? Page 48 has the answer. Can you save the world from arch-villain Stromberg? Spy Who Loved Me is on page 66. Another Dizzy sequel? An excellent budget outing or a yoke of a program? Sorry. Find out on page 63. Is it worth staying up for Midnight Resistance? Page 68 has the answer. The first game is Flimbo's Quest by System 3, $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. Imagine living in a place called Dewdrop Land, where the sun shines brightly every day, and people jump out of bed and look forward to the day ahead. A cute land filled with gingerbread houses, with no unpleasantness at all. No wars, unemployment, inflation, or trouble. Wouldn't it be great? The answer is, of course, no. It would be horrible. Just imagine how bored you'd feel. You'd deliberately try and mess things up just to make it interesting. And one man who has tried to is Professor Franz Dandruff. He's kidnapped Pearly, Dewdrop Land's reigning beauty queen. As nothing in Dewdrop Land remotely approaches ugliness, you can imagine how utterly scrummy young Pearly is. However, her disappearance has not gone unnoticed. Her cute cohabitee, Flimbo, has vowed to rescue the poor dear from the slimy yet unsurprisingly strong clutches of Dandruff. To this end, he is set off towards Dandruff Manor, where she's being held very tightly. Before reaching Pearly, Flimbo must negotiate 7 levels of baddies. These are the genetically undesirable mutants that the prof has been breeding in his lab. Rather than pity these poor creatures, Dewdrop Land's population want to see them exterminated, presumably because they're not beautiful enough to live. Flimbo has a gun and gets 20 quid for each mutant he murders. This money is very useful because each level has a shop. The proprietor of these shops is a curious individual known only as Dazbazian. He sells various useful items such as temporary invulnerability, a better gun, scrolls, and an extension to your time limit. The scrolls are the key to each level. You must collect a certain number. You can get them by killing any flashing mutants who will drop them, or alternatively, by saving up your money and buying them in the shops. Usually you'll get all the scrolls you'll need by a combination of these methods. Collect enough and you'll proceed to the next level. As you explore each level, you come across unexpected hazards, extra rooms packed with loot, and other surprises. All the time you'll be slaughtering hordes of mutants and collecting little piles of dosh that they leave behind. Each level has one of Dazbazian's chain stores, which, like McDonald's, all look the same inside. They also have the secret room at the end of the playing area. There are 1 or 2 new mutants in every new level, but they behave in a very similar way to the ones that they have replaced on the previous level. A clock ticks down in the bottom right corner. This time limit dissuades you from staying in a safe spot and blasting the mutants until you have enough money to buy all the scrolls you need. The graphics are, like Dewdrop Land itself, bright and cheerful. They are smooth, large, and cute, but because of the detail on some of the levels, can look rather confusing. Flimbo sometimes merges with the backgrounds on some screens to become a jumble of colours. The first screen suffers from this more than the others. Flimbo waddles around like wearing a baby grow with a beanie on his huge head. This hydrocephalic appearance is as cute as any could stand without feeling nauseated. The mutants also look good. One type seems so harmless and pathetic that it's almost a pity to waste them in their droves. But at £20 a head, it's certainly worth it. Sound is simple and contrasts rather with the sugary sweetness of the display. There is a nice fluffy theme tune too. Flimbo's quest is cutesy, colourful, and not too difficult. There are no hard puzzles and not many split-second leaps. There are 2 ways to get through the levels. Firstly, just kill everything on 1 or 2 screens until you have enough money to buy your way up. Secondly, to explore and to kill the scroll-bearing mutants as and when you find them. The lack of real challenges means that you generally lose your lives by making silly mistakes, which can be very tedious. This lends the game to an infuriating addictiveness. You know that you can get to the next level, but you scream and shout when you don't make it. This is a compulsive game. It's very frustrating, and you'll keep playing with grim determination. This is totally contradictory to the sweetness oozing out of the program. But it works, and it's fun. James, Sweetness and Light Leech. First day target score. Get to level 3. Second opinion. Gameplay is extremely limited. You just kill, kill and kill until you have enough scrolls to get to the next level. The graphics are none too special either. The verdict, graphics 75%. Rainbow Islands still has it, but this is close. Sonic's 56%, a wee bit dour. Nice tune though. Grab factor 77%, not too difficult to understand or play. It can't really get lost either. Staying power 66%, can get a bit samey. Each level requires a similar approach. AA rating 73%, not too difficult but very frustrating. Okay. Let's get started. Right, that'll do. Alright, let's go. Flimbo's quest. Here he is. Flimbo's Quest by Lawrence Vanderdonk. Written by Steve Lamb. Alright, let's go. Get ready. Can we go left? Oh, we can go left. Ooh. Oh. There's a scroll there? Nah, I couldn't do a damn thing about it. That's a scroll. Can't go through that door. Money. Yeah, money. That's not very secret. That's a pit. Is that it? I can't go any further left. Oh. Oh. This dude. Big dude. We just leaves. That shot goes through him. Big dude. Another room. It's very similar. Oh, I see how this works. Oh, it's like bomb jack. I see. It's like bomb jack. I get a pink one for more money. So I don't know where the shop is. Oh, that hit me? Really? Okay. Okay, yeah, this is a shop. 2,500 for a scroll. So what's the difference between these scrolls? Oh, that leaves. We can come back though. Huh? We just gotta build more. We gotta kill more stuff, I guess. Can we kill you? It's not. Oh, good. Boop, boop. Oh. We can't go back in, huh? No further movement to the right. Oh, don't fall in the pit. So how many scrolls do we have to actually get? I guess that's the question. That's probably too close for comfort, really. Any more left? No, That's it. Ah! Run away. Hey, look at the range. Sure, that won't disadvantage us at all. Firing one shot at a time. Oh, that was a mistake. Game over. But yeah, that game's not the most exciting thing ever. So it needs a bit more to it, really. Anyway, we'll move on. We want to play the same stage again. It'll take too long. Alright, next game is... No, thankfully it's not Ed the Duck. Switchblade. Hero is the last of the Blade Knights, a trained warrior with a high-tech reprogrammable cyber arm which can accept any number of different and ever more destructive weapons. He can also kick and punch hard enough to demolish walls and leap huge distance with one thrust of his mighty limbs. He's also about 3 feet tall, shaped like a 7-year-old Schwarzenegger, and wears his cap back to front. We won't worry about that though. Needless to say, Hero is a rather important task to perform, namely to rid the world of Thrax, of the evil Havoc, who had dominated the world since the shattering of the Fireblade. You are paying attention, aren't you? As Hero, you must explore the Undercity beneath the surface of Thrax, battling Havoc's evil and ghastly minions, and assembling the bits of the Fireblade so that you can use it against the evil geek himself. Okay, never mind the scenario. Let's get cracking on. Oh, is that it? Click past the opening text screens and your first glimpse of the game itself is worrying. Graphics only take up half the screen and it's only one colour, if you don't count black and white. Yes, well, let's not worry about the graphics for a moment. What does it play like? Well, here is the game, little chap. Admittedly, there's no great urgency about his walk. More like somebody pushing a trolley around Waitrose, rather than battling his way to a confrontation with an evil megalomaniac. However, he is nimble enough in a tight corner, delivering devastating low kicks, high kicks, and punches on demand, and leaping huge gaps with an appropriate run-up. You start out on the surface of Thrax and can travel either left or right. Left will take you via a nasty creature to some nasty flames, to a hole in the ground you don't see until you step onto it, depending on whether you can step on something that only exists because it isn't there. Suddenly you're in a different underground world. So this is where all the colours are. Yep, once you're underground, Switchblade suddenly looks a whole lot better. Apparently we're ignoring the gradient skyline in the background there. Hero starts out with 5 lives and a full complement of vitality. If he gets hit by a monster though, his vitality bar starts shrinking. When he gets to 0, he loses a life. To combat the various monsters he'll encounter, Hero can deliver low kicks, high kicks, and punches. It all depends on how long you keep the fire button pressed. Let it go almost immediately and Hero delivers a jab to the forehead. Keep it pressed a moment longer and launches a boot at the enemy's visage. Keep it pressed until your kickometer, bottom of the screen, reaches maximum and you can kick the other guy's legs off. Brilliant! Switchblade is basically a Rick Dangerous style game where you must explore the underground corridors, avoiding traps and dealing with various nasties along the way. Unlike Rick Dangerous, however, you can't actually see a room until you go into it. So, as you're exploring, you really are in the dark. And that adds a great deal to the game. Switchblade doesn't have Rick's humour either, or its range of puzzles, but it makes up for it with a wide variety of evil beasties and a whole host of collectible weapons and bonuses. Given this range of weapons and opponents, Switchblade is as much a kick 'em up as an exploration game, but some of these puzzles are really very subtle, particularly as you can come at many of them from different directions. If Switchblade's graphics take a while to impress, the same can be said of the gameplay. It starts off seeming a bit easy and shallow, but gradually escalates into a very impressive and challenging game indeed. In terms of size, it's a monster, with a total of over 150 screens to explore. We're talking about one huge game area. The graphics themselves really are very good indeed. Although it's all in full colour mode, the programmers have used split screen techniques to bump up the colour count right from the start, and there are enough hardware sprites in there masquerading as background detail to push up the number of on-screen colours to near 20 and 4. Combine that with the high resolution of Mode 1, and you've got a console game that looks like it's playing on a 16-bit. In fact, although the ST version sprites are better, the Amstrad's backgrounds are miles ahead of the 16-bit machines. The soundtrack plays continuously and is original and listenable. There are no sound effects, but that doesn't take much away from the game. For Gremlin to use the full colour mode on the console, especially when people are expecting spectacular new standards of graphics, is a brave choice. But once any initial disappointment has worked off, the overwhelming impression is of very subtle and very, very good visuals, which really do make the best of the new hardware. The other striking thing about the game is its sheer size. It just goes on and on. And the further you go, the better the puzzles, the enemies, and the fun factor. If Burning Rubber and the console set new standards for driving games, then Switchblade does the same for platform adventures. It may not grab you by the short and curlies straight away, but it slowly and inevitably sucks you in until you simply can't leave it alone. What an excellent game! Switchblade tips. When you can, jump onto a crate before taking on the enemy. Most can't hurt you while you stand one level above them, but you can merely kick their lights out. Yes, we'll notice that. When entering a screen, wait for the monsters to appear. Note the point at which they generate for future reference. Try to take them on one at a time, or try to get them all. And once all the monsters on the screen are dead, they don't regenerate, even when you come back later. Take careful note of which weapon you're carrying. You can only repeat fire after your last missile has exploded, and some traverse the entire length of the screen, making them useless in close combat. Avoid stepping off into space without knowing what's below. There are some stages in the game which involve large falls, and this can sap your vitality badly. In other words, there's fall damage. Look out for where the vitality power-ups can be found. Plan your movement so that you can pick up the energy when you most need it. You only jump a short distance if you leap from a standing position. Take a run-up to jump further. If a monster appears at an awkward place or time when you enter a screen, leave immediately and try coming back. monsters always home in on you, so you use the platforms and different floor levels carefully to get them into the position you want when you want. The boss monsters have particular movement and firing patterns. You'll lose energy sussing them out, but once you have, even these monsters should prove easy meat. To make sure you're not missing out any bits of Fireblade, map the game as you go along. It'll pay off far better than simply trying to do it from memory, and you'll find some safer shortcuts around some puzzles. Remember, there is no time limit, so you can analyze a problem for as long as you like. If you come up against a brick wall, literally, look carefully for square bricks showing more detail than the most. You can kick these away. Switchblade technically is done in the 4-color mode, but try counting the number on the screenshot. The programmers have used standard split screen jiggery pokery and the additional color hardware to cheat on a grand scale. Technically speaking, after playing Switchblade for a few days, we were impressed. We were so impressed we took Gremlin's technical guru, James Northhearn, to one side and gave him a grilling. We've got Switchblade now. We've been playing it for a few days and we think it's really good. Yes, we're really pleased with it. It's a very big game as well, isn't it? It's a massive game. There's an awful lot in there. Now we understand that you use the hardware sprites to actually add more colours for the backgrounds. We went to 4-color mode because we felt that because of the size of detail in the 16-color mode it would not have looked anywhere near as impressive as it does. We used the stippling effect to add shading, etc., which I think you'll agree works. Because we went to 4-color mode, we wanted to add more colour, so there's already, without any hardware sprites or anything, there's already 2 splits in it, which are noticeable at the top and bottom. And I think at most, where are we? And I think at most times we have at least 6 colours on and sometimes 8 colours on the screen. By splitting the screen and changing the palette at the top, the play area and the bottom, if you count the colours, you'll see there's always more than 4. Because down at the bottom you've got blue and a red, and then you've got all the colours within the game. There's also sometimes a different colour at the top, so it's easy to implement on the console. In addition to that, we added colour to the backgrounds by actually making the backgrounds out of the 16-colour sprites. So we built up the backgrounds with normal background techniques, but also added hardware sprites to add colour throughout the game. So the sprites are in 16 colours, but you get higher resolution for the sprites, don't you, than in normal 16-colour mode in the backgrounds. What we didn't do is make very elaborate sprites, really big ones, and just plonk them on the screen for the sake of it, because they would have ruined the look of the game. The sprites are actually in key with the rest of the game. They fit. They can't tell in any way different from the backgrounds, except that they're colourful. We've got sprites on every screen, so every screen contains well in excess of the normal 4 colours. The thing is, we also took a look at the ST version, and we've been having a bit of a debate with the ST format lads, but we actually reckon that the console version is better. Slightly better, yeah. What do you think? For a start off, the product makes a very good console type of game. That's one of the reasons you think it is better, because on the ST you're aiming in a sense to do a different kind of thing. Does this game format lend itself to the console hardware? Is that what you're saying? Let's put it this way. The console hardware is such that we can implement that type of game well, if not better, on the console than we can on the ST. Is that because of things like the hardware sprites? Yes, that's because the hardware sprites enable us to put more colours on. Also, although in this game we don't scroll the backgrounds, if we had gone to a scrolling design, obviously the console would have been able to handle that as well. We think it came out as well on the Amstrad as a product as it did on the ST. I think the thing you have to remember is that we had hindsight as well. We were able to tweak many parts that we wanted to tweak because we'd already produced the ST version. I wouldn't disagree with you, I think, against the two. If I could play either one of them, I'd probably be more likely to play the Amstrad console version. Oh, there you go, straight from the horse's mouth. No offence, James. Alright. The verdict. First day target score. Find 3 Fireblade bits. Graphics 96%. Sonics 86%. Grab factor 81%. Staying power 93%. AA rating 94%. Huge and so playable. Ah. Now we get to play it. So I start the thing first. Where are we? I gotta do the. Volume seems loud. Oh, no wonder. I don't know. Try that. Alright, let's go. Have I not seen the window? Here we go. For 10,000 years he slept, his mind feeding on the nightmares of the weak. Now he has awakened. As the night bled crimson, the fireblade shattered, and its power died. Then the slaughter began. They never thought he would return. Now havoc reigns the Undercity. I am Hero, last of the Blade Knights, must rebuild the Fireblade and bring the dawn. Gradient background. Oops, okay. F first. Button 2 to jump. There's nothing. Here, down we go. Okay, more stuff, more stuff. And now we have to take mandatory full damage. For years for life. Behind here. Nope. Stop it. Ah, stop it, stop it. Well, there goes one life. Why did they put that there? Can't jump off ladders. That's too hard. Oh yeah, still not good. They can't do nothing. Spikes. Got that. That's one bit of the fire blade. Probably safer just to... Oh. Oh, it fell off. It fell off. Oh, come on. I want to avoid trying to jump over the spikes. That's all I want. Right, down we go. Okay. Ooh, that is fun. Oh, God. I don't think it's going to work. I messed the ones up, box up here. Oh, there's a thing there. Down. Left, down, or right? We can't really go right, can we? Left. Fireball. Down we go. Oh, God damn it. Hit him. Damn it. Oh, he got another life. Right. God. Right. Okay. Climb the ladder, yeah. Climb the ladder, thank you. Ah! No, you got pixel perfect jumping already. Okay. Handle laser. No, don't get stuck in there. Up to there. Alright, here we go, we got him. You've been that boss before. This is all new to me. Oh no, we're falling. Ah. Oh. Oh. Oh, another one came down. Climb, climb, climb. Oh, geez. Seem not. I don't know what you're doing there. I'm leaving. Places to go these. Ow! Damn it. Oh! Here to nowhere, right in front of your face. Can't jump up there. Oh, it's another piece. Okay. I don't get anything here. It says down here. game's out. Game over? What did me? My life was full. What happened? Was that a trap? Was that a trap? What I love? Things that kill you that you cannot see. Or don't expect. Move on to the next game. Next game. Next game is Grand Prix Circuit by Accolade. $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. It's the ultimate circus. From March to November each year, the Great Grand Prix show visits about 20 cities worldwide. Each city is host to an exhilarating battle of reactions, courage, and nerve. There are always exultant winners, and sad losers, and bad accidents. So many games have been written about motor racing that new ones are no longer seized on with glee. In short, a game following the same format as all the others would have to be something pretty special to get itself noticed. Grand Prix Circuit from Accolade sets out to simulate the Drivers' Championship. There are 10 drivers, of which you are one. Your first job is to select the car you wish to guide around the circuits. It's a tactical decision. You could opt for the Ferrari, which, although not the fastest, sticks to the road like glue around the bends. The Williams is faster, but it'll slide around a bit at speed. And then there's the McLaren. It goes like a greased weasel. But close your eyes and hope whenever you encounter a slight curve in the circuit. There are 5 difficulty levels. The easiest level ensures that you won't spin off, even in the McLaren. The other drivers try to get out of your way, and you have an automatic gear shift. In fact, things couldn't really be easier. Skill levels 3 and above force you to change gear yourself. How uncouth. The drivers are also progressively better, and the damage your car takes by sailing onto the verges is worse. You can have just one race against other drivers on the circuit of your choice. You can enter the championship or just practice. Every time you race against competitors, you must first drive a qualifying lap. This is theoretically intended to give you a grid position. However, it is incredibly difficult to end up in any position other than last. This is almost certainly an oversight by the programmers. The other cars' qualification times are just too fast. Another problem with the qualifying laps is that they are compulsory. It would be nice to be able to leapfrog them and get straight down to the competitive hijinks, even if this option were to automatically give you last place. It would be preferable to motoring around alone for a few minutes, knowing that you'll be in last place anyway. Choose a part of the world you wish to visit. The races themselves can be any length you want. On easy, it's possible to win stormingly in the McLaren simply by driving on the grass past the pack in the first few seconds of the game. Thus, each race can only be 1 lap long, and you'll have 160 points after 8 races. If you do win the championship, you'll get nothing in the way of prize or recognition. The game simply starts over again. This is seriously depressing for anyone who has struggled legitimately to reach this position. The graphics, the most important part of a game like this, are not up to par. They show the road ahead, the other cars, and nice scenery, but they're far too slow. The digital speedo tells you you're doing 230 miles per hour, but it doesn't feel like any speed at all. The other cars are drawn well, but you can only ever see 1 or 2, and those from rear view. Overtaking is a joke. If you head straight for a car, the computer will often tell you that you've passed it successfully. But if you head for a gap, your damage increases and your speed drops, indicating that you've hit someone. It is these 2 factors which really let down Grand Prix Circuit. The fun should be in the racing 9 other cars around a fast and frantic course. However, the action is neither fast nor frantic, and the other cars only serve to annoy you with their illogical behaviour and the poor collision detection. Otherwise, it might have even been possible to live with the fact that you have to do a qualifying lap before every race. And Also, the fact that you face the same buildings and scenery every race. Incidentally, there is one building which, no matter which corners you go around, is always in front of you. It's tired of seeing after a while. The sound is fine, especially if you like whining engine noises. The car's responsiveness is okay, and there is some attention to detail, such as the corner displayed map of the circuit with all the positions of the cars. It's just the playability that lets it down, and that means everything. James Hunty Leach. First day target score, win the championship on easy level. The verdict. Graphics 62%. The 3D views work okay, but the graphics are so slow. Sonic 65%. Howling V12s is about all. Grab factor 67%. Not difficult to drive. Staying power 57%. You'll be cheesed off by always having to qualify and by the antics of the other cars. AA rating 63%. Even Satoru Nakajima is faster than this Grand Prix joke. Huh. Duh. Okay. If you enter the driver's name, you only use a name of. Okay, whatever. Accolade presents Grand Prix Circuit. Coded by Random Access. Visuals by Chris Lowe. Choose game type. Practice single race. Championship circuit. Stick with single race. Difficulty level. Stick with easy. Who cares about a name? Laps per race 3. Make it 1. Just make it a 1 lap race. It's fine. Ferrari, Williams, McLaren. Oh, there's the only choices. Well, let's see if we can keep it on the track with this one. We'll go around Britain. Let's go. Prepare to qualify. Oh, we're off already. We're only halfway around the track. Doesn't feel like it's been a minute. Move, now you move! Didn't turn! Oh, there goes that qualifying pace. We're going to start last, that's for sure. Yeah, we qualified last. I'm sure when I tested this, I qualified 7th when I did in practice. Again, I didn't use this car either. It just seemed a little easier to keep on the track. A little. Alright, let's go. We picked up damage already. Picking up damage already. So we're still picking up damage. 196. Stop taking damage at least. Stay straight, please. Oh, we got past. Where we get to stay on the left of them? If you're on the right, we'll take damage. Oh no. Also, we passed 2 of them and we were in first. Now we're in 6th. Only 2 got past though. This is exactly how it works. That's it, back to the left. Come on. Yeah, this frame rate is awful. So we passed something. Oh jeez. Look at the mini map. Wait, what was that kind of over there? Oh, get back on the track, you idiot. Oh. I've got 3 visible on track at once. 4? Oh, never mind, we did. Did a survival lap. Towed to pits. Game selection. We'll go to reload main selections. There goes to main screen again, does it? I presume it does. Okay. Single race. Okay. Here we go here. Italy, which looks like the calmest map of them all. Prepare to qualify. It's 3:30. Oh. Keeping straight. Hard. We qualified last. 6 seconds behind even. Prepare to race. Just 1 lap. Get this done. So we can finish a race this time. Past them that way. Yeah, here we go. You just got past them just like that. It blinks out of existence. we've got a lead. We've got a bit of a lead here. Those are some qualifying times, those were. Yeah, that's much easier. Yeah, we did about the same time almost. Yeah, about the same time. We finished first. Yeah. Well, there we go. We completed our track. Yeah, it's probably not the world's fastest racing game, is it really? We'll move on to the next, which will be what time are we at? 10:34. Oh no, football crazy. Somewhere there must be a die-hard core of people who never tire of playing football management games. It's more than likely that these people live in secure buildings with soft walls and no sharp objects. But each to his own, we suppose, just as long as we can't hear them screaming at night. Anyway, Colt has released a veritable feast for such people, as James Leach reveals. Yeah. Football games never end. Soccer Star by Colt. $2.99 cassette. Keys only. Just imagine you've suddenly been handed a 4th Division team to manage to the top of the first, whilst trying to capture the FA Cup in the process. You start off with a big lump of dosh and a half a team. Buy and sell the lads that get the best team available, train them, then start the season. Then you get the best bit, you actually see the balance of the match, as the action swings from end to end. A large ball indicates the run of play. If it drifts towards your goal, it's panic time. If it's around the opponent's goal, then you rest assured your team is doing okay. When a shot at goal is taken, the scene shifts to a 3D-ish display of the pitch. The attacker is seen kicking towards the goal. The defenders might intercept, the goalie might capture it, or the striker might miss. All this depends on 3 skill levels of the team. The mid-levels decide whose end the fluctuating ball heads towards and when the goal screen appears. The attacking level is pitted against the opponent's defending level. A large amount of excitement can be generated by this simple system. The goalmouth action can have you shouting for your team out loud. What lets the game as a whole down is the level of interaction. There isn't much, really. You buy and sell likely bods at the beginning of the season, and all you do is make occasional substitutions when injuries occur. Overall, though, this is more fun than most management sims, purely because you can watch your team playing. It isn't a hard game, but can get quirky, even if you are at the top of the league. If you haven't got much money, you'll be sacked at the end of the season. So as long as you remain solvent and keep the team functioning, you should eventually rise to the top of the heap. First day target score, make it to the 3rd Division. The verdict, graphics 60%, simple but definite bonus in a management sim. Sonics 55%, cheers from the crowd mainly. Grab factor 61%, idiot proof and easy to get into. Staying power 54%, exciting to watch but gameplay is limited. AA rating 57%, a curious hybrid. Neither part really works well on its own, but together they are a lot of fun. Okay. Okay. Off we go. Weekly Sport. Manager of the Year was Champs. United Victory. FA Cup holders. Into game and designer. Got a designer in this, huh? Into the game. Voted season, save season. C to continue. Job applications. Rating 0. Cardiff C of Division 4 wanted manager rating 0. Okay. Manager Bobby Robson. Division 4 Season 1. Cash £45,400. Can we sell players? Have we got any players to sell? We do. We have 9 players. 1 goalie, 2 defenders, 4 midfielders, and 2 attackers. Okay, so we've got to buy some players in. What position do you want to scout? If in defenders. Free transfer. What else do you have? Skill. We've all got skills of 0. No wonder the 3. Viable players. Still got skill of 0. Ooh. Okay. All these free players. We'll get an extra goalkeeper just in case you don't want your goalie to be injured. This is the only one available, apparently. What extra defender? Extra attacker. Got the oh, stamina of 9. Something. I'll buy an extra attacker. I think this is as good as we're going to get, huh? Okay. So how much money do we have? How many players do we have, I should say? Enough, I guess. Because now we just enter season, right? Squad. Need one more, right? Okay. Who can hire a spy? Training. Okay. I don't know how much that helped. Balance of the match. Oh, 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 oh. The ball's moving. I assume our goal is the one on the right. Right. Oh, oh, oh. Things are happening. Oh. Boom, the ball goes off. Whoa. Goal. Yeah. Scored a goal. Oh. Goal. He's happy. He's dancing. Jumping for joy. Half time. Off we go again. Oh, uh-oh. Oh. Are the goals swapped in this form or not? Yes, they are, I guess. Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, the ball just takes off. Apparently no reason. Oh, he missed. Full time. 2-0. Oh, we won. Actually won a match. Ugh. Next fixture. Away versus Crew Alex. No, you need more training. Oh, we've got an injury. All the defenders are playing. Okay. Hire a spy. I don't know if that helps or anything. Let's go. Oh, no. I think we're going the right way this time. Attendance 9,800. Oh no! Oh no! Don't go that way! No! No! Oh no! What happened? Oh! Yeah, go back that way. It's more like it. Get ball in. Yeah! Oh, going again? Oh, hey! Half time. No, go that way. Don't go that way. No, other way. That's it. That's it. Go that way. No, that way. Come on. To the right. To the right. Come on. No. 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 Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Only 10 minutes to go. Stay over here. Here we go. You missed, you idiot. Full time. Next fixture, Home versus Carlisle. Save some money for the training. The training's expensive. Kick our squad. Same dude's still injured. Okay. Keep going. Play match. Uh-oh. No. No, stay away from this. Come on. No. No. Push it forward. Push it forward. Push it forward. Forward more. Come on. No. Forward. No, stay away from there. No. Come on. Stay away from there. No. No. Half time. We survived. Now this time you go to the left. No, left. 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 Left, 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 left. Maybe we do need more training. Left. Come on, left. Maybe we can at least survive a draw. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh no! Oh! Right on the last minute, huh? That's how it's going to be. Away at Scarborough, FA Cup round 1. Maybe we do need train. Check the squad just to be sure. Oh no, we've got 2 injuries now. Oh, he's a goalkeeper. We can't do that. We need a new defence guy. Oh, you get one substitute? Okay. Need more defenders. It's on loan. Shouldn't do one to scout. Who's that expensive? Will do. Okay. How is the league table going? We're in 3rd somehow. Okay. Play the match! Oh no, that's the wrong way actually. No. Left. Come on, left. Left. It's it. Get a ball in the goal. Yeah. That's not the right direction. Come on, left. Left, 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 left. We survive until half time. Oh no. Oh, you missed it. Come on. This time we go to the right. Come on. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Come on. No, right to the right. Come on. Come on. Go, go, go. No. And a sub. To the sub. No, 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 they go that way. No, no, it's the right. Come on. Full time. Onto the FA Cup round 2. Oh. It's fixture league match. Home versus Rochdale. Check our squad. Okay, we can get rid of our unloan dude. This guy's back. Right, we'll play one more match. Oh, go. Yeah. No, 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 that way. Not that way. No, no, to the right. No, no, no. Right. The other way, come on. It's it, it's it. Come on. Come on. No, no. Oh. Half time. Come on, to the left. We do want to go to the left now. That's it. Into the goal. Yeah. Yeah. Just like the real thing. Come on, left. Come on, left, left. 20 minutes to go. Oh, he's going to miss. I got stopped anyway. Come on, keep going left. Left, left, left. Substitute. Oh. And it goes. Goal! 89. 90. Full time. 2-0. League table, where are we? First place! Oof. Who knows how that happens? Anyway, we'll move on. Because there's 3 of these. There's 3 of these to get through. See if we can get through them, through these soccer games. Right, next game. It's cup football. by Cult. $2.99 cassette. Keys only. Cup football sets its sight on greater goals, European goals to be precise. It concerns itself solely with the UEFA Cup. You choose a European team to guide into combat with some of the world's finest squads. You are allocated a group with 4 other teams. You must play a mini-league with them to decide who goes on to the quarters and the semi-finals. Each of your players has a fitness rating, which tends to drop with each game, and a skill rating. This can be improved for specific players by spending money on them. However, the levels might not rise, might even drop owing to overtraining, so it's always wisest not to bother with this at all. The game is played in speeded up time, for basic commentary scrolling up the screen. Goal times and scorers are printed as they occur, so if it's a close match, things get more and more tense as the final whistle approaches. An added feature is the ability to place bets on the team. It's really rather hit and miss, but at the beginning of the game, your team is not worth betting on, so you may as well bet on the opposition. Just don't get caught doing this in real life, especially if you live in Swindon. Cup football has more features than many management sims, but doesn't have a really polished feel. It works okay, but the games themselves take a little too long to play, and there's no way of speeding things up. There's also a teleprinter feature, which churns out results like the one you see on Grandstand. It, as you will know if you've ever sat watching Grandstand waiting for Noel Edmonds' Saturday Roadshow, is not very fast either. This effort apart, there are no graphics or sound. First day target score went through to the next round. The verdict: graphics 0%. Only the Vidi printer, and that isn't graphics really. The character set hasn't even been redesigned. Sonics 0%. Nope, not a sausage. Grab factor 42%. Playing in Europe is still a novelty. Staying power 39%. Nothing really new here though. AA rating 40%. Standard sim with commentary and Vidi printer. Yay. Okay. Leave it there. Push the right button, it helps. Okay. Set the right window, it helps. Cup foot. Oh, hey, MP3, thanks for the raid. We're playing football management games. Exciting ones that have no graphics and anything. You just saw in the review, got 0% graphics and 0% sound. Pick your team! Who do we pick? Who do we pick? I'll just pick AC Milan, maybe. The groups. We're in Group 4. Press a key. Manager Andy Brown. Season 1990-91. Rating 50%. Balance £500,000. Okay. Squad. I think our squads are full, at least in this game. three midfielders. Beginning to wonder. So, train. Who needs some training? Work on skill or fitness? Skill. Skill, no change, cost £1,175. Wonderful. Check the menu. Have a bet. Let's bet on us to lose. Make a bet. Number 8. To the score for the home team. Oh, we have to guess scores. Assume Real Madrid is the home team. Usually, which one? Everyone's first. Make it 3. 3-0. There you go. Into the stake. Okay, put £200 on it. See what happens. Alright, let's go to the next match. Press our key. Play match. Press our key. Oh, here you go. Kick off. This is position. This is position. This is position. Yeah. Injured. This is position. Saved. Loose ball. Booked. Oh, wonderful arm. Booked. Injured. Loose ball. Another loose ball. Score. Oh, God. We're losing. I think it might be more than 3-0. Ah, there's already 3-0. Loose ball. But we're good at this, aren't we? There's his position. Over the bar. Loose ball. Loose ball. This takes a while. Huh? There's his position. Over the bar. When do we get near the goal to go over the bar? Loose ball. In the second half. Saved. Loose ball. Saved. We had a shot at goal, did we? So amazing how that happens. Saved. Loose ball. Loose ball. Saved. Over the bar. Loose ball. Over the bar. Loose ball. Lose position. Loose ball. Yeah. So it's remained at 3-0 since. Missed. Loses position. Loses position. Saved. Oh, we might be lucky to actually win the bet. Saved. Substitution. Press any key. Right. Ajax 0. Dynamo Kiev 0. Eindhoven 3. Celtic 0. Bordeaux 1. Anderlecht 1. Yes, Lisbon 1. Bolton 0. Benfica 0. Barcelona 2. Liverpool 1. Saint Etienne 0. SV Hamburg 0. Everton 2. Real Madrid 3, AC Milan 0. Yeah, we have won £2,000. Yeah, gambling pays off. Napoli 1, Valencia 2. Oh, this is fun. Price per ticket £2. Remember in football games you get in for £2. Wages £15,000. Violence none. Fines £0. Attendance 37,187. Gate money £74,374. Share of gate money £14,874. Press a key. Yeah, that's an exciting game. I think we made £500 out of that. Out of all that. The rating went up. Wait. Isn't it? 43% before. Oh well. Whatever. Anyway, that's not the most exciting game. We'll get the. We've got one more of these to go through. What do you. We will move on to the next one because more the same, I guess. The Footballer by Colt. $2.99 cassette. Keys only. I think something similar here. You just can't beat the cut and thrust of the English League. Starting at the bottom of Division 4, you must fight your way to the top. It isn't easy, primarily because your team is rubbish. But by carefully bidding for players on the transfer market, you should improve until you are not quite as bad and start thrashing everyone. There are no graphics or sound. This is a standard text-only management sim. It has some nice features, however, such as the minute counter when each game is playing. Goals are scored as they happen, so you'll be on the edge of your seat until the very last minute. Each player has a skill, fitness and ability value. These combine to give an overall figure for that player. The team is divided into defenders, midfield players and attackers. Who's the goalkeeper in that? The totals of all the players in these categories are totted up to give the three strengths of the team. It's thus a simple mathematical process to work out which players to buy to improve your team. This takes away some of the fun. There aren't many other factors to affect the outcome. One big niggle is the fact that all key presses are stored in the buffer to return and annoy you later. If you press the start game button twice, 2 games are played in succession, and there's nothing you can do except snarl. The balance of Footballer is tipped in your favour. If you keep playing, you tend to move to the top of each league. This adds to the feeling that it's not just a matter of loading up and waiting until you win. First day target score. Leave it playing until you win. Okay, leave it playing until you win. That's an interesting one. The verdict, graphics, 0%. A 70s computerish typeface is used. Sonics, 0%. Like most games of this genre, there aren't any. Grab factor, 46%. Quite friendly, not complex or difficult. Staying power, 41%. But it is limited in its enjoyment. A little too biased to the human player. AA rating, 41%. Just another management simulation. Alright. Okay. Footballer. Loading screen by Sean McClure. Please wait. Load and save season. No. Welcome to the footballer. Pick your team. We've got a next page. Nothing. Notts Forest. Notts 4. Norwich even. Here you go, all the teams. Wrexham even. Oh, I'm picking. And here, manager's name. No. Please wait. The footballer, weeks to go, 23. Start match, players, transfer market, matches. So how many players do we have? 16 players. Why do we have 3 goalkeepers? 4 goalkeepers. Team rating 2. Roost rating is 1. Okay. I think we need some better midfielders somehow. Can we buy some players? Use the transfer market here. How much money do we have? 386,000. No. Is that the only one there? Does it change every time? No. Not really what we need in. News. League position 24. Well, we haven't had a match yet. Manager rating 0%. Goalkeeper 2. Defence 3. Midfield 2. Attack 2. Alright, let's just start a match in. Follow shortly. Yeah, goals just end up like this for all the teams. All these matches are occurring all at the same time. Oh no. Well, we warned it would be rubbish to start with. At least the matches go more quickly than the last game did. 1-0. We've got to wait. This game was probably written in BASIC. Official attendance 5,870. Wonderful. Weeks to go, 22. How awful are we? League position 19th. Somehow. What's on the transfer market today? Not very good skill here. We need better skilled players than that. Let's go to the next match. Follow shortly. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. It's going well. Yeah. Please wait. Official attendance 7,495. Man's rating 0%. Yeah, we did last now. I think we need more midfielders, don't we? Should we buy this guy? Let's have a look. The players. Oh yeah, we've got some pretty terrible midfielders, haven't we? Oh, buy player. Buy? How do we buy? How do we buy? Go back. So how do we buy? Buy player. Can't buy anything. Not like we're short on money though. Weird. Oh, I guess maybe it's because we're actually full. Maybe we should sell a player first. Sell. Offers 11,690. Sure. Okay. Back to the menu. Transfer market. Yeah, now we can buy them. How much do you want to bid? Bid over 32,754. 33,000. Oh boy. Never mind. Any more? No, you can only have the one. Oh, that sucks. I have nobody in the midfield almost. We're going to suck even more now, aren't we? Do you have a training option? Can we, improve the play? No, get them better. Oh, next match. Follow shortly. It didn't take long. Oh, another one at the end. So of course. Please wait. Official attendance 4,275. Profit £1,359. Can we get a good transfer this time? Yeah. By player. How much do you want to bid? We'll make it £50,000. Should get it this time. Yeah. Today's transfer market is closed. Here we go. Now, what's this make absolutely no difference to how well we do? We haven't even scored any goals yet. We're that terrible. Well, half time. Maybe we can get away with a draw. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I guess it's an improvement. News and ratings. We're still 0%. Attack is 1. No wonder we don't score any goals. We're awful. Let's see if we can actually win any matches in the season. Let's speed this up. Let's keep it going. Go through all the season, see if we actually eventually. Oh, look, we scored a goal! Oh, no, it's the other team. Oh boy. Keep going. Terrible. $12 weeks to go. Let's go. Oh, we're terrible. $8 weeks to go. Have we won any matches? End of season report. Hey, we finished dead last. Yeah, God, it got worse. Our ratings got worse. So much for the strategy of let it do its thing and it will eventually win. I don't know about that.